Texas Wesleyan alum. I'm just going to go through the SamTide sequence for you guys with the monitor, machine, airway, and all that good stuff. So when you get here really early on your first day, and you need to check the machine. So we're going to go through SamTide, but I'll start with the machine because it takes a minute to boot itself back up. So you're going to start your day. The full machine check needs to be done at least once a day. So you're going to turn off the machine here at this button, and it just clicks on and clicks back off. So while that shuts down, we will start at the top of the SamTide. So you're going to make sure that your suction is here. So your suction canister is going to be here. Turn it on and off here. If it's not on, just turn it to max. Make sure that there's a yonker on the end of your suction. Make sure it works. And if there's not a yonker, it's going to be in one of these two drawers underneath your ventilator. So then you're going to turn back your machine on, and this is the part that takes a minute. So we've checked our suction. You're going to get all of your airway supplies gathered. Those are all going to be found in the bottom drawer of the ACART, which is this thing here. So you're going to get appropriate size ET tube. Stylets are here. All of your syringes are here, so you'll get your 10cc syringe from the top of the ACART. And then this is going to be obviously your basic airway setup. When you come into the OR in the morning, you should have random supplies and equipment that are going to be on top of your ventilator. We'll have a disposable laryngoscope blade. You should have 4 blades up here to pick from. You should have a Mac 3, a Mac 4, a Miller 2, and a Miller 3. So then you'll choose the blade that you want to use to intubate your patient, put it on your disposable handle, and make sure that it works and lights up and latches on appropriately. So you're going to choose your blade, your handle, and then further equipment with airway that's necessary to make sure that it is in the room every time is in these drawers down here. You're going to have LMAs size 3, 4, and 5. Make sure that you have these as a backup for your difficult airway algorithm. The top drawer, you're going to have various sizes of NPAs, and then your various sizes of your oral airways also. You've got tongue depressors and everything that you would need to use one of those assisted airway devices in this top drawer here. There's also an ambu bag behind the ventilator that hangs here, just in case for some reason this like shuts down on you or something. There's an inflatable ambu bag. Make sure that this is back here. Also, in an emergency, here's what I didn't do. You'll have a bougie that's either taped, this one is taped, or magneted underneath this magnet on the side of your ACART. Make sure this is here also in case it's pushed. Okay, so we'll move back to our machine now that it's turned itself back on. So you're going to have your pipeline pressures that you're going to want to check here and make sure they're around 50. The pipeline pressures come from the actual main OR pipeline pressure. We can't do anything about these, but if they're not within 50, call the anesthesia tech and just have it troubleshooted. So then we're going to check our cylinder pressures. And when you're doing your machine check, you're always going to crack your tanks, which are going to be behind the actual ventilator. So every ventilator machine will have a key. So you take the key, it's going to be found on just sitting on the top of one of these 3 cylinders. So you're going to just take and you're going to crack open, and it raises your pressure here, and then you're going to close it back. And you're going to do that with all 3 of your tanks back here. All right. So when you get to the actual machine check part of your SamTide, there's a lot of detailed instructions on this screen. Take the time to read it just so that you'll know the actual steps that you're going to take to check it. But to do a basic machine check, you're going to control your APL valve here. You're going to set your APL valve to 30, and you're going to press your oxygen flush. You're going to fill your bag. And And then once your breathing pressure is over 30, you're gonna let it go and make sure that it holds pressure, that it never goes above 45 and never falls below 15. So then you're gonna lift your APL, make sure that your bag completely deflates, and you're gonna leave that APL at 30. After that, you're gonna hit this button that says Start Self-Test, and then the machine itself is gonna do a circuit test to check the pressure. Next, we'll talk about the monitor. Pretty basic monitors. Everything that the ASA recommends that you should have, we have here. Turn it on by hitting main screen, but we don't have to go through all of that. Just make sure that there's a cable for all of your monitoring. So you have your EKG cables with leads attached. You have a pulse ox cable, which is the blue one, a non-invasive blood pressure cable, which is the purple one, and then a temperature cable, which is the black one. Different temperature monitoring equipment is located here. In one of the two drawers, it says supplies. You have to explore this. We've got skin temp probes here and esophageal temp probes here. So that is the monitor portion. If you need anything specific for your case, if you need to call an anesthesia tech, they can always help you, like with an arc line pressure cable or a CVP pressure monitoring cable. Continuing down the SAMTide, you want to make sure that you have tape for your ET tube, tape for your eyes. That's all going to be located here. You'll have reference pictures of this, so we don't have to go through everything that's there. Lots of different tape choices in the drawers. Medications are going to be found. All your controlled medications will pop out one at a time at the top of the A cart. And then your not controlled, like your induction meds, your blood pressure meds, are going to be in these top two drawers, which will just unlock itself. So you've got your syringes to drop your medications here with your needle list, and then lots of stickers to label those medications here. Finishing up with SAMTide, you want to make sure that you have 2 IV poles in the room so that you can put the drapes up. You don't want to get back into the room at 7:15 and realize you don't have any IV poles. Most rooms will have 2 IV poles. We do have 2 IV poles. Make sure you've got 2 clips. This is all of the equipment stuff that you're going to look for at the end of your SAMTide. So you want to make sure you have drape clips, 2 IV poles. Make sure you have a beer hugger. A fluid warmer. There's a fluid warmer in every room. If you anticipate needing it, make sure that you have the tubing that's appropriate for that. And I think that's sort of SAMTide from top to bottom. This machine check is about 85% done. It takes about 4.5 minutes from start to finish. So that's almost done. When it's passing, everything turns green. You know you're doing a good job. You can always cancel the test and rerun the test. If the machine check does fail, a couple of things to troubleshoot before you run it again. You're often going to lose pressure right here at your soda line. Make sure that that's clipped in appropriately. You may have to change it if it hasn't been changed in a while. Or these, you can always just tighten things on this side where the circuit itself is attached. If you run it and it fails again, the smart thing to do is just to change out the circuit itself. 96% done. We're 100% done. This is what it looks like when the machine check finishes. A couple of other things to make sure that your machine does is turn on oxygen. Make sure that it kicks your ventilator on. And you should also always know where your auxiliary oxygen flow is going to be. So turn this on, make sure you get oxygen. You'll use this if you're doing most MAC cases. So that's where that is. So I think that's SAMTide from top to bottom. If you have any questions, Bailey, Claire, they would love to help you.